Testino is widely regarded as one of the most influential fashion and portrait photographers of our time. His photographs have been published internationally in magazines such as Vogue, P Magazine, and Vanity Fair. He has contributed to the success of leading fashion and beauty houses, creating emblematic images for brands such as Gucci, Burberry, Versace, Michael Kors, and Dolce & Gabbana. Born in Lima in 1954 to a traditional Catholic family, remote from the world of fashion and Hollywood, Testino moved from Peru to London in 1976. It was during his apprenticeships at the studio of John Vickers and Paul Nugget that he made up his first attempts as a photographer, inspired by how photography masters documented the society of their times. During the early 90s, he looked to his experience growing up in Peru and his long teenage summers in Brazil for inspiration, which helped him to create a unique and personal photographic language. To understand what photography is, how it has evolved among these years, we want to present you today a really famous fashion photographer, namely Mario Testino.
In 1995, Madonna asked Mario Testino to make a shooting for her new album Ray of Light. The pictures show us a different Madonna. She looks different this time. She wasn't trying to seduce or look rebellious. She looks mysterious and peaceful, due to the fact that Ray of Light is largely about spiritual transformation for her. We can see that the leading color is blue, which aims for stability, wisdom, confidence, intelligence, all that she was trying to reflect.
Lesson 1. It's not over until it's over. Mario Testino never stopped before he had the perfect picture he was aiming for. The picture you see here is one of the most famous portraits Testino shot of Madonna and was made after hours of shooting. During the day, Testino refused to call it a day and did not want to choose a picture. In the end, the famous picture was one from the afternoon part of the shoot.
In his long career as a photographer, Mario Testino developed some ground rules, which are, according to him, crucial in taking the perfect picture. Those guidelines determine his way of working and influencing the overall aesthetics of his work.
This picture is called Nature of the Beast and it was taken for the June's Vogue magazine. The interesting thing about analyzing this picture is the composition of it. Mario Testino uses geometry in most of his pictures to show a balance within the picture.
Lesson 2. Don't be afraid to use unexpected props. During his work, Mario Testino used a lot of unexpected props in his work. For example, for a shoot with Cara Delevingne, he brought a bear on the set. This was a risk, but turned out very well and ended up in a great photo.
In his long career as a photographer, Mario Testino developed some ground rules, which are, according to him, crucial in taking the perfect picture. Those guidelines determine his way of working and influencing the overall aesthetics of his work.
The picture of Vogue's icon Anna Wintour, which was shot during 2014, has a very interesting composition, but mainly the contrast of colors gives direction to read the image. As we can see, Anna is the main focus of it. Even though it is not a planned photo, she looks astonishing, and we can barely see the details of her dress. Another interesting thing is how the people around her fit in the photo. On the left side we have intervailing colors. The man in black is wearing a white shirt, then the man in front is wearing a black outfit, followed by Anna dressing white. And finally we have the man on the right that is wearing both black and white. At the end, all the elements that we can see gives us the feeling of having a uniform appearance.
Lesson 3. Lighting is everything. For Testino, light is the most important aspect of any photo. When you find light, you find what you want to say. When he wanted something really flashy, he made the light really harsh, while he used soft light for a feminine or romantic feel.
Nowadays, Cara Delevingne, it is in no small measure thanks to Mario Testino's talent that she has become as potent visual symbols today as Marilyn Monroe or Elizabeth Taylor were in their times.
This photo represents the evolution of men's style and self-perception. For several years, men are more open to ideas and possibilities, but for many years men have been told how to look and what to wear. In this photo, we can see that the red lipstick makes reference to the new way they live their lives according to what's right for them, and not to follow a principle which is outdated.
Lesson 4. Expect the unexpected. Testino explains that you never know what you are going to get when you step on the set. Even when you plan and prepare, you need to find that certain moment that is magical. Usually, this comes from an emotion.
For celebrities and people that can sometimes be insecure about the way they present themselves, Mario's hands are the most reassuring to be in, because they know that they are going to be safe. They know that they will look as beautiful and extraordinary as they possibly can, and then he is able to capture candid moments, and they know that even if they let their guard down, they're gonna look extraordinary.
No one had ever seen the princess look natural, fun and modern. Compared to other photos, she was not heavily made up and jeweled in the stiff bell gowns of her royal life. It was intended to keep a natural minimum and non-ceremonial life. In certain ways, this photo immortalizes the Princess Diana, due to the fact that any old people or even new generations could think that this is an actual picture, even when it is not.
Lesson 5. Even the best photographers are insecure. Mario Testino confesses that photographers are really insecure. They could take hundreds of pictures and would never be satisfied. But only the photographer knows when the perfect picture was taken, because he sees it in the camera.
Furthermore, Mario's most memorable shootings to this day is his series with Diana, Princess of Wales. He says the experience itself was amazing.
This was a cover for V magazine, inspired in the sports world. The picture was named "The Lady is a Champ", representing the power of women in society. We can see that the vibrant red color is a little bit aggressive, but at the same time it is seductive and full of energy. Then we have her leather outfit that makes it look a little bit rebel. And again we can see geometric shapes all over the photo, but in a smooth way, making reference to the name of the magazine as an underlying message.
Let the subject rule the photo. As a photographer, there are two approaches. One is to make the photograph yours, and the other one is to give the photograph to the person you are photographing. Mario Testino chose to give the photograph over to the person he is photographing, to a lot of criticism of many people. He wants the subject to feel at their most powerful moment. Always try to portray the people as alive in the best way.
Testino steps out again, this time with Jennifer Lopez, for a series that gives J.Lo a fresh, edgy, and new look. Jennifer Lopez laces up the globes for a one-on-one session with Testino's lens, exhibiting a bit of gender-bending toughness that might stir a bit of emotion in both sexes. It's another classic by Testino and a welcome departure for Jennifer Lopez.
You got now an impression of Mario Testino's work. Let us have a look on the aesthetics. Mario Testino is known for the extraordinary way in which he can capture the most private of moments, and his pictures are filled with life and personality. His way of photographing famous people leads to intimate pictures. He wants to understand their real side, their fun, soft and sexy side. He intends to capture them in moment of engagement or expression. This leads to both spontaneous and intimate portraits at the same time. He wants to show that famous people are also real persons. Whereas Testino's pictures used to be flat, static shots. He later realized that they missed the colors and movement from his home country Peru. He changed his way of photographing, and today his pictures feature the movement, spontaneity and vivacity of South America based on the memories of his youth. However, Testino's work is often also seen as commercialized. Whereas some criticize Testino's pictures for clearly selling a product, others praise him about his ability to combine art and commerce. Testino explains that he sees the fashion photography as a business. It has to create desire, has to sell, build a brand, and make people want to leave their house and go to the store. Testino has a unique ability to invoke feelings of desire within his work. His pictures are an ode to wealth and extravagant way of life. His images are often based around the showing of affluence.
Now that you are an expert in photography, let's wrap up by doing the Kahoot.